This is 100 watts and a wire.
Is it possible to have different noise floors on two different radios? Tony wants to know. There's a bit of a backstory. Maybe I can fill you in real quick. He was at a son's house or his brother's house, and he just had the two different radios, same antenna, plugged it in. They both had two different noise floors. He was wondering if a radio was actually on the fritz or whatever.
Yeah. So a receiver generates internal noise. So our receivers, they're called super heterodyne receivers. Basically, they mix an oscillator to mix down to, and you'll probably hear a term IF or intermediate frequency. So depending on the receiver, what band you are, there's going to be one or two IFs in a receiver. So like a 2-meter radio, UHF radio, will have basically two IFs. So they'll have either like a 10.7 or 11.7 would be the first IF, or the first oscillator offset. So you get a 10.7 or 11.7, depending on the receiver design, but not all, it's not that all receivers. And then it will go back down to 455 kilohertz. So that will be another one. And the way they achieve that is that you have an oscillator, you have a mixer, and then this signal coming in is mixed with the oscillator. And then you get some products, so a sum, a difference, and then the original two frequencies. Well, that mixing process, there's noise generated. That's one stage. Your low-level amplifier stages, the front end of the radio has these low-level amplifiers, and they generate noise. Your IF stages generate noise. So depending on the radio, some radios will have a little bit more inherent noise versus another one. And then you might have some other, IMD products, but for the basics is, yes, you can have two different radios which have two different noise floors, because it's just the nature of the radio design and the components that they're using and how old they are, because capacitors age. Scotty made a comment about, capacitors drying out, and as older radios have components that they will dry out, namely capacitors, and so that changes, how circuitry works. So that's in a nutshell.
For complete episodes, subscribe where you get podcasts and click the bell here on YouTube for features and live streams.